Hello, it's another great day to be alive. It's a beautiful world in which we live, and it's fall where I'm at, autumn, and I love the colors. I also love that you're here with me. I appreciate you being here, and I so appreciate all the comments that I get, even face to face when I see you. It's so cool that I don't really realize if it, who's actually watching my video. It doesn't tell me like who tuned in. It might say the amount of views that I've gotten, but anyway, I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a light to me. You're my inspiration. You're why I do this. And so thank you. Today in our mastermind at church, where women are gathered together, it's called Relief Society. There's several of them. And this, I didn't go to my own church. I went to my daughter-in-law's church with her parents, because then I get to see my kids more and my grandkids too. Anyway, and it's a beautiful place because I also am dear friends with a lot of the people there. I've moved away from that to another ward or church building so that I don't see them. So it was kind of cool, kind of like a reunion in a way. But what a great class, what a great lesson, and what a great discussion. That it was led by a wonderful teacher, and but it was also led in such a way that many people shared their ideas, which is what a mastermind's all about. So where two or more are gathered, right, a third mind is created, and a mind that's separate from anyone in that room. So I think that's pretty powerful. Anyway, we are talking about something that I have written on, I've done webinars on, I've actually spoken church about it too. Oh, I did a little tiny TikTok video on, because it's just it's one of my favorite verses. It's one of my favorite books in the Bible, Matthew. But I call it lucky number 7 because it's Matthew 7 verse 7. And it's a powerful one about asking, seeking, and knocking. I don't have it pulled up right now, but it's ask, and answers will be given, seek, and ye shall find, knock, and it shall be opened unto you. So that pattern of understanding is there for all of us, and I love that. That's, I think, what I find so profound about reading the Book of Mormon, reading the Bible, reading other ancient wisdom words, is that there's a lot of truth, and I am a truth seeker, and I think you are too, or you probably wouldn't be here with me. But ask, seek, knock is something that we delved into, we talked about on a deeper level, and we read some of the verses out of the Bible to try to understand it better, and some of the verses out of the Book of Mormon to try to understand it better, and some quotes and some different things like that, and just ideas came up that were so powerful. So when the first thing she did was write ask, seek, and knock on the chalkboard in the front of the room, and just said, what does it mean? What does it even look like? Why does it even say these words? What is infinite intelligence asking us to do? And the first thing that came up was the fact that when we actually, it's really, the asking part is that longing that we have, that sincere desire to know the answers to questions that we have, or we feel this, it's intentional, it's absolutely intentional that we want to know answers. We want to know a solution. So when we're seeking for a solution, we're asking with a true intent, and not just intent to know the answer, but in a way, when we're really asking, we want to know the solution so that we can put it into action. We want to act on it. And what's really cool is all these things that our Creator has asked us to do are things that we have to participate in. We have to choose to be a part of. So we get to ask, we get to seek, and we get to knock, and the door can be open to us. And so these are participation actions that we can take. So seek, we talked about seek as well. When we're seeking something, how do we come across that? We're seeking truth. Most often we're seeking truth when we're wanting answers. We don't want just any answer. We want to know the very best, most solving answer that's going to be truthful for us to move forward in the most positive way, for our greatest, for our highest good, right? And so we talked about seeking. And in seeking, that means at the same time, when you're seeking, you're not just asking a question. You're literally kind of doing research. You know, you're hunting. Maybe you're going through different processes to figure something out, right? You're not, seeking is a very intentional way of looking for something. Sometimes it even means that your RAS, you're articulating, you've already asked a question, so of course the RAS is turned on, and now you're actually kind of in tune and open to getting an answer. So as soon as you've asked the question and you're now seeking, you're actually, you've kind of opened yourself up. And you're searching, you're searching, you're researching, you're hunting for something, like a scavenger hunt in a way. You're looking for clues, and you're open to hearing messages. And this is when you're seeking too. You're reading. A lot of times you're reading. You're maybe even taking notes. You're finding, you're listening to others that have had the same or similar experience that may have an answer, or sometimes those things that people say even just pop up in your mind, like, oh, I heard that, I'm going to write that down. And you're compiling all of these answers and ideas and things that are going to help you to continue to seek so that you can get the answer to that question that you're asking, right? But how does it come? When we're seeking truth, how do we find it? How does it come? So I love the knocking of the door. Again, my favorite book is The 4 Doors. I carry it with me everywhere. It's been worn out. It's kind of like James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. It's kind of like that book where it's just a small book, but it has so much truth in it, and so that I want to read it weekly. And he talks about doors that you have to go through. He talks about the fact that when you approach a door, you are out. Let's just say let's say you're going to your best friend's house, and now you've come to the front door. Some of our best friends, we don't even have to knock, do we? But you come to that front door and you knock. Now what? You're waiting, you're kind of, can you remember that feeling that you have when you go to someone's door and you knock, even if it's someone you don't know, but you need to go and either deliver something or pick something up, and you knock? Now you're waiting, but you're in great expectation. You're expecting someone to come to the door. You're hopeful that someone will come and open the door. So you're waiting. So this we talked about too, that, once you've asked the question, now you're seeking for something. You've stepped up to the door, and now you're waiting, and you've got to be patient in that waiting, because it's in Source Love's time. Infinite intelligence is going to give you all that you need. Abundance is there, and it's in that timing, which is now for our infinite intelligence, for the great I Am, is now, because that's the only time in that God presence, right, is now. But for us in our human form, it feels like different timing, right? And so we have to be patient waiting for that door. And then when that door opens, especially when it's a friend, or maybe you're delivering something and you're going to get a great reaction, they're going to be glad you're there. You can be so excited when the door does open and you see that person that you haven't seen in a while, or you see that good friend, or you're delivering something. I hope that helps you to understand what knocking's all about. It's a door that you don't get to just go in. It's a door you've got to knock. And then there's a point where you can step in, or you can get the answer that you need right at the doorway, So we talked about all those different things. I didn't write down all the notes. I wish I had actually just taken a picture of the chalkboard, because there was a lot of contribution by the group, and a lot of different women spoke of different ages that are in there. And just their thoughts and ideas were really powerful. One of the gals that spoke up was talking about how, we're talking about light, talking about receiving light, because truth is light. Truth lightens our soul and our heart and our mind, and it gives us hope, it gives us strength, it gives us confidence. Somebody also talked about today how by having that truth and getting that solution, how it lifts you and how it's like light. And she talked about how different ways we receive light and how that is for us. When you go into a room that's a dark room and you turn on the light and it comes right on, it can be harsh, to the eyes. It can be, you can feel like, oh, especially if it's like you just woke up and you've been in the dark and now you're turning on the light and it's just an instant poof and it's a lot of light, it can actually be kind of painful. You know what I mean? You want to close your eyes, or you want to like at least squint them so that you can handle that bright light. But that is one way we can receive truth. It can just hit us, you know, out of the darkness or whatever you want. It can hit us, and we can sometimes even be broadsided by it in a way that we didn't expect. But those aren't as often how things come to us. Those aren't as often as the way light can hit us. We also talked about how their light, when it's focused, you know, like laser light, it can cut through really hard surfaces. This is a powerful light. And that the sun itself is also a powerful light, but the way that we see a sunrise is far different from the way just turning on a light switch is. And oftentimes, more often, we're receiving answers to, you know, the truth that we seek from that sun rising slowly. Like if you think about it, you know the sun is rising. If you get up in the morning, you see that beautiful light. Matter of fact, I'll probably post a picture. Maybe I'll even make it the thumbnail. One morning I got up and the sky was so beautiful. The sun hadn't risen yet. I knew it was coming though. We know the sunrise is coming because we can see the light coming and getting brighter, and sometimes painting just brilliant colors across the sky. And so, in that expectation, again, like someone's coming to the door and the truth is going to come, it is. And that the sun rises slowly, bringing light, just in a beautiful way, in a I want to say relaxed way. It's just in a slow, gradual way. And that's more often how we're going to receive truth, but we need to be looking for it. Another thing that someone mentioned too, and we listened to a song from a stage play long ago, and the song is kind of made from a scripture talking about line upon line. And if we're faithful, we can see how the pieces fit together in harmony. That's part of the song. And it's so true. If first we have to be believing and have faith. And then we open ourselves up. We've asked the question, right? Now we're seeking, we're doing the research, we're trying to find the answer. We've got maybe 2 answers that we're dealing with that we think will work, or maybe we've tried one and it didn't work, so we're looking harder to find an answer. And as we seek, we can find little bits, and it comes line upon line, like that sunrise. Here a little, there a little, kind of like a small hinge, or small things make great things come to be. It's if we really think about this pattern of small and simple things, or there's another scripture that talks about you absolutely get milk before you get meat, because you can't handle, as a baby, you can't handle just totally eating meat. Your system isn't prepared for that. And it's the same with all the universes, all the knowledge that is there for us, the abundance of knowledge from infinite intelligence, from the universe, all that is there for us. And it is, all the mysteries can be known by us, but not all at once. And there's no way possible that we could even probably in our lifetime learn all that there is, even piece by piece. That's how we need it. You know what I mean? So, but knowing that line upon line and precept on precept is, you know, that's how we learn, that's how we grow. And in those ways, sometimes there's repetition, right? You're repeating some things, some experiences and different exercises you're practicing, because those truths are working, and you're figuring out that, wow, when I ask and I seek in this way, I get answers even quicker. So we're starting to figure that part out as well. And so line upon line is really important to understand that we are not going to get it all at once. Again, sometimes it happens where we get a big chunk of it, and it's like kind of can blow our mind in a way, but it still comes in the way that we need it, which is pretty cool. And if we're patient, we can start to understand and see even more clearly. And if we pay attention to how the answers come for us, that's a phenomenal thing too. I've talked to some people who, when they're listening to music, answers come to them. Some that when they're reading their scriptures or even reading another book, answers come to them. Some, for sure, it's from people all around, and even people they don't know, and they're listening to things that are being said. So sometimes it's in the doing. They go and serve. They're serving other people, and somehow that comes to be, their answer comes to them. So the door gets open, as you move forward in search of, while taking action. I remember hearing, when you're getting chased by a bull and that bull is so mad, and do you drop to your knees and pray, or do you run? Well, both, right? You don't drop to your knees, but you pray while you're running, because you want to take action while asking. You want to be humble. Humility is powerful. That's part of the 12-step program, is being humble and full of humility, knowing that that there's so much more that you don't understand. You're not somebody who's a know-it-all. You're not saying, oh, I already knew that, because that's a brain virus for sure, a thought virus. You don't want to have that, but that you are open to the answers, and you're open to even hearing several things and kind of going through it to figure out, sifting to find the truth too. That's a powerful thing to learn how to do. And I say powerful a lot, so I'm going to try not to say that as much. But when I get excited about just what the ideas that others bring to me, and being open, and when I talk about things that are just near and dear to me, I tend to say excited and powerful a lot. So I hope you understand. You fill them in with your words as you practice. As you practice asking, seeking, and knocking. Please comment below on what words you come to the table with. What comes to your mind. Maybe you're thrilled. Maybe you're made more aware. Maybe you are humbled. Sometimes that happens for me, where I'm just like, wow, I sure had that wrong. Wow, how did I mess that up so much? I could have come at that such a completely different way. And that happens again with experience, and continuing to progress, continuing to forgive yourself, be patient with yourself as well, and be patient while you're standing at that door and knocking. So I'm trying to think, did I write any more things down maybe that I wanted to talk about? Just sunrise versus a light switch. And there's a powerful talk on that by a man named, oh gosh, all of a sudden his name it's with a B, Bednar. He speaks about that, and just when you receive truth, how it comes to most people is not in that profound angelic, like an angel shows up way, but in like a sunrise with the small, subtle ways that just like that scripture talks about, was the answer in the thunder? Was it in the fire? Was it no, it was a still small voice. It's a subtle thing. It's a feeling that's within. It's a feeling in that other brain, where the brain cells are in your heart, right? So when we really pay attention to source love, to infinite intelligence, to the universe, we can get answers to any of our questions. We can get solutions to any of our challenges. We can even seek patterns and start to recognize patterns like this one: ask, seek, knock. So I hope this has helped you, that you can take this into your life, and that you can find ways to ask, seek, and knock, and have it be opened unto you, that you'll recognize what your purpose is, why you're here, that you'll recognize that you are absolutely perfectly loved, and that you are enough, and that you will change the way you look at things, so the things you look at change by knowing that the answer's there for you, that it's in the receiving, that you get to decide to be open to it, and pay attention to whether you are or not. And so I wish those things for you, and I also wish you to have a fantastic new week, a brand new week. I hope you've planned for it. Like my friend Brett Hudson says, prepare so you don't have to repair for your week. And I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now. See ya.